Welcome to Realmcast. I'm your host, Sriracha, and joining me is everybody's favorite GM, or should I say former GM, Zbornox. Say hello.
Hello.
Tell us how you been.
I'm good.
Cool. And our new GM, Nullbot.
How's it going?
Pretty good, dude. How are you?
Doing all right.
Sweet. So, before we get started with all the fun community stuff and community updates and game updates and all that greatness, tell us how you been, Zbornox, since you left Realm.
Well, it's first off, it's a little weird to be on the other side of the headphones. I definitely will miss the podcast. This is one of my favorite things. So thank you for having me on it one last time.
You realize that a ton of our community members were sending me all these PMs talking about Zbornox. No, we were supposed to get married, and
we were.
What of the tacos and all that? Yeah, you didn't know.
Well, I did receive a few PMs in my new games forum.
Mm-hmm. Which is what's your new game?
I am now game master for Kingdoms of Camelot.
Ooh.
I'm GM for Kingdoms of Camelot, and I've received a few PMs on there.
Cool.
And
Anybody from anyone notable?
Actually, I didn't know who they were because they didn't have their game name.
Oh.
So, Florian did bid me farewell though on Skype.
Cool.
So that was very nice of him. And
Shout out to Flo.
yeah, Flo. How's Flo been?
Flo's been good. Flo's
Good.
one of our Epic Dungeon testers. Or I
Awesome.
shouldn't call them Epic Dungeons anymore. They're actually we gave them cool names. So we got like Deadwater Docks and the Woodland Labyrinth, and that was really cool. More details about that later. But Flo's doing good.
Nice.
I'll send him your regards.
Nice. Thank you.
So we had a few questions lined up for you.
Okay.
I think the community would really like to hear more about what's going on with you. So what's your new team like?
Well, it's actually very excellent. I am back with Tiffy Tiff.
Oh, how's she doing?
Oh, it's great. We're having a really good time being on the same team again. And Dash Ahead sits right behind us. So he's not on our team, but
Snap.
yeah, he's in the general vicinity.
How's his beard?
I believe he trimmed it not too long ago. So
Good for him.
it's manageable for now.
Good.
Couple days, give it a couple days. But yeah, my new team is great. It's been a transition. I was on Realm for over a year, so it's hard to not talk about Realm or think about it. But
So going off of that, like what was your favorite part about Realm? What were some of the highlights, I suppose, of your experience on Realm of the Mad God?
So the first memory I have takes me back to the very beginning when Dash Ahead, Tiff, and I were the GMs first put on the project on the game, and we decided to come up with an event where you design a cloth. And I had an idea to use Photoshop, and we took a picture of Oryx and we put him in a prom dress. So, it was really fun to make, and the community did not really enjoy it so much. But it is something that to this day still, even a year later, sticks out in my head as something we did that was, we learned from, and it was kind of funny in the process. So I learned a lot from this community, the Realm community. You really, with Realm of the Mad God, you have a very unique community. And I think it's been said before by some other people, but, comparing communities that I'm in now to this one, it's definitely different, and in a lot of great ways. I'm going to miss the community a lot, even their rants. I loved going into the game and just being able to play with people and talk to them.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome. So another question, will you come back and visit us? Please?
Well, only if I can talk about tacos.
We'll have to see about that one. I don't know. That's a sensitive subject.
It is very
Zbornox.
sensitive. Before I left, one of the Realm members made a taco goodbye picture for me, and I have it on my desktop wallpaper.
Aww.
So it was a Success Man, I believe, who made that for me.
Shout out to Success Man. Thanks for doing that for Zbornox.
Yeah. And I also just wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much to our moderators. They have been a great force in Realm of the Mad God, and so goodbye.
That actually brings me to my next question.
Sure.
Do you have any parting words for the community, for our moderators, for yours truly?
For you, for Sriracha.
Any advice for our new GM? Anything? Say it now or forever. Hold you.
Okay, let me think about this.
Speak from your heart, Zbornox.
Lord Ruthven is taken. Thessel has a thing with Lord Ruthven. Know this and do what you want with it. And also listen to the moderators. They will definitely lead you onwards into the realm even deeper, and it'll be great. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Zbornox.
You're welcome.
You know, make me tear up a little, man.
I have teared up over this a couple times. So, yeah.
Do you wanna stick around with us for a little bit as we go over some of the game updates? Or
Yeah. Tell me what's going on with the game updates.
as you may have remembered, we were doing the epic dungeons. Those have names now.
Nice. What are the official names?
So I actually have them here. Shout out to our players that submitted them and got voted on.
A lot of good entries.
Yeah, a lot of cool entries. As you might have remembered, we had the epic pirate cave and the epic forest maze and the epic spider den. So you ready to hear the names?
Yes.
Can I get a drum roll, please? We have the Deadwater Docks. That is the epic forest. The epic pirate cave.
That's pretty cool. Deadwater Docks.
Yeah. The Woodland Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
That is for the take a wild guess.
Forest maze.
Good. And we also have the Crawling Depths. Can you guess who came up with those names?
Can I guess?
Yeah. One of them likes slugs.
Slug King.
Mm-hmm. And the other two are the Hydra.
Uh-huh.
Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
And Void Element.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good job, all.
Great job, guys. Good stuff.
Very creative group.
Yeah.
Deadwood Docks. I like that a lot.
I know. I like that one too.
It's a good one.
Got a good ring to
Nice
it. Nice
alliteration. Cool. And I might hop in and out every now and then. I played in the game not too long ago. It was funny. Zbornox.
Haha, that's cool.
Give me a coral bow. Just like old times.
Spawn 02. Nice.
That's great. Actually, the first thing anyone ever said to me in game is, "Can you spawn me things?"
Yeah. Yep. They never stop. Guess what, guys? We are not going to spawn you things.
That's good. So with that, so now that the epic dungeons have names, we also wanted to give a quick update on what folks can expect on release 16 when it comes out.
Okay.
So there's a lot of really exciting things that are actually coming out in this patch, namely, or this release, namely bigger vault. So folks are gonna have a bunch of extra vault slots to store more stuff.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, they've been wanting that, so that's great.
Yeah, so that'll be in there. We're also, I've seen a lot of questions from a lot of players asking what, okay, cool, you guys are coming out with new dungeons, with new stuff to do. Why should I do them? What am I going to do? Like, why? So we already have announced them, but we're introducing 3 new untiered items into the game. So each dungeon will drop one of these new items. So look out for the Doku Noken. That's the katana, the untiered
great.
katana.
Okay, I'm glad there's another ninja item.
That's right.
Yeah.
We also have the leaf bow and
Pirate's Cutlass.
Pirate's Cutlass.
Ooh, who uses that?
That is actually dropped from the pirate cave That's just like your basic sword. So
Okay.
warriors and paladins and all those cool sword wielding
Sword
classes.
people.
Yes, sword people. People that are made out of swords. With that, we are also introducing a new confirmation modal in release 16.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah. So
Yes.
as far as like accidental purchases go, if you're standing in the Nexus and you accidentally click the interact button to buy something, you will, be prompted with this thing that says, "Are you sure you want to do that? Sure you want to get that?" And you can say no.
Yeah.
And you will not have, spent gold that you didn't want to spend.
Great. I know some of the mods were really pushing for that one as well. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right out. And with that, Zbornox,
With that,
those are our game updates for the time being.
what else you got?
Well, we wanted to introduce Nullbot, ask him a couple questions, put him in the hot seat.
Okay, go for it.
Do you have a question for him?
No. What question should I ask?
I don't know. Ask him anything.
Where you been all these years?
All right. Well,
Hey, Nullbot.
hey, what's up, guys? So I'm Nullbot. Let's see. The first question I just got asked was, "Where do I come from?" I've worked at Kabam for 9 months. I worked at strategy games, The Hobbit, before I came over to this one. Obviously, big difference. And I used to play this game. I was not good at it, but I did used to play it. So when the opportunity came to move over here, I was pretty stoked on that. And I have experience doing, before coming to Kabam, all my work was in RPG games, as a GM for RPG games.
Right
That was my scene, going into games, spawning stuff and everything. So this is a pretty good fit for me. And,
Cool.
yeah, I'm pretty stoked to be here.
I can imagine that this is definitely home for you.
Yeah, definitely more than any other game Kabam has, to be honest.
When were you actively playing Realm of the Mad God?
Oh, man. All right, so someone asked me this, and I don't know exactly how far ago. I know that there was no special potion button, and a lot of, like, the forest maze, that did not exist.
Yeah, that was a new thing recently that came out. Zbornox, like 2 or 3 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
I could probably go find my old registration email, but I would say somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
Dang, OG, dude. OG.
So you weren't at Kabam when you played it?
No, actually, I didn't even, when I first applied to Kabam, when I found out they bought the game, I was like, what? Realm of the Mad God?
Yeah. Right on.
That's awesome.
So you recently did a AMA on Reddit.
I did.
How did that go?
I thought it went really well. We'll include the link in this video description. You guys can go read my answers. I got some really good questions. I tried to, I was going in there. I was like, I don't know what they're going to ask me. I'm just going to answer this as honestly as I can. And, I thought I got really good questions, so I was really happy with it.
What was your favorite question? Most memorable question? I know
Most memorable question was asking how we could possibly work with a bear.
Oh,
I wonder that oftentimes as
Dr.
well.
Bearsworth, yeah.
That's the most memorable question, but
very, very...
Very berry.
Someone asked me what I thought the biggest flaw with Realm of the Mad God was, which I thought was a really good question. And, it's been a long time since I played, so I've been trying to get up to speed as quickly as possible. So I gave my feedback. I thought it was, third-party sellers, obviously, they're an issue. And then people rushing dungeons, just making that gap between people just farming untiered and the new guys trying to play. And some people weren't super pleased with that answer, but that's how I felt. And I thought it was a good question.
Cool. Right on.
I think that's a pretty good answer, too, actually. So.
Yeah, good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Yeah. Good to hear that, man. It's good to know that we have really experienced hands-on person on Realm, and I look forward to working with you, sir. Welcome to Realm.
Thank you.
Next question. What's it been like being on Team Realm? What are your likes, dislikes?
It has definitely been a learning experience. This team is way different than the teams I worked on here, and as far as I know, any other team at this company. And it's been a pretty big culture shock. The very first thing I did, I wrote a little introduction for the forums. I thought I'd kind of try to be funny, write a little funny response. And the community was not having that. They were not a fan.
Yeah,
So,
I remember him. I remember Nullbot looking over at me and saying, "They're gonna hate me. They already hate me." And I'm like,
I learned I am not a comedian, and
well, it's really hard to be funny, man.
It
Like,
is,
especially in writing, it's really
not
hard
easy.
to crack a joke, man. But if it makes you feel better, I know I thought it was funny.
It's all perspective.
Realm of the relatively chill god. That was,
but it's been great. I mean, I've only had limited experience in the game with the community, but that was really fun. I've been playing the game, and that's always fun. And it's a smaller team, but the way everyone works together is great.
Yeah.
And the way we're taking community feedback and actually trying to make a difference, and you can see that happening. Like, you can already see in this patch coming out, big changes happening.
Definitely.
That's really cool. That's something you don't really get with a bigger team.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. I've been on Realm since February, and it's just really good to see, this smaller team that we're working on is actually working to address, a lot of the issues that the community has been, really, really interested in seeing fixed. So, I mean, I'm happy to see that, and, I'm happy to, be on the smaller, more hands-on team.
The community plays a big part in this game. Huge. I don't know if you players really realize it, but your ideas are heard and tossed about and talked about and read.
Definitely.
So.
Definitely. And honestly, it's a really big thing when you have, the person in charge of the game, Arbiter Z, coming into the forums and asking questions. A lot of games do not get that. Nope. So that's particularly that's my favorite thing. About what's happening with Realm right now. And moving along, Zbornox, you wanna do some community updates with us, or you gotta go?
Yeah, I do have to get going, but I really appreciate being on this podcast. I'm always, if you want to PM me in the forums for Kingdoms, I'm always around to chit chat with you guys, or if you have me on Skype, which for some reason a lot of people do.
Nice. So just to clarify, where you're at?
Kingdoms of Camelot.
Kingdoms of Camelot, and what's your moderator name there?
Kabam_Zbornox.
Keeping it old school.
Oh yeah.
So okay, guys, peace out.
Later, Zbornox.
Later.
And now that we've said farewell to Zbornox, she will be missed dearly. We move along to community updates. Let's see what's going on here. What have you noticed with the community, Nullbot? What was your favorite event that we've ran recently?
Man, I really like that we're having an art contest going on right now. There's a lot of awesome art coming through, and every one of the staff has been huddled around their computers every morning, like looking at it and stuff. That's great. It's really cool to see the kind of stuff that everyone comes up with.
Do you have a favorite entry so far?
Oh, I can't say. We'll wait till the results come. I don't want to play favorites yet.
All right.
But I do.
I do too, but I'm not gonna.
But we won't say.
I'm not gonna say because I don't want to anger people or what have you. So I think one of the interesting things I noticed with the art contest was people were asking some questions about what constitutes like original art. Like, can I take a picture, a stock art image of like a forest, like a tree, and doctor that up a little bit to call it like mine? And I was like thinking about that. I was like, this is really crazy because this is like some Supreme Court stuff that like is gonna have to go, and talk about like personal property and common public law stuff. I forget what the term is, but basically, guys, if you have questions about what constitutes original art, we just want to see that you actually worked on the piece and put a lot of work into it. The more work you put into your particular piece, the more it's going to show. So if you're wondering about whether or not it falls under copyright law or something like that, I mean, I personally don't see a problem with you taking a picture of a tree that might be from like National Geographic, coloring it up and like adding stuff to it and using that in your piece as long as it's related to the Epic Dungeons.
I mean, we're not going to do anything with this art. This isn't for anything company related. We just want to see what you guys like. So, if you think it looks cool and you did work on it and it is your art, like, submit it. If you used some clip art or something from a website, that's fine. We don't care. I mean, if you just take someone's art and put a border around it, obviously that's an issue, but nothing we've seen has been like that.
Work on your art. Boom. Chisha. We also had we tried something new via Reddit.
Yeah.
We reached out to the Reddit community, as well as our forum community, and we did a Google moderated Reddit top 10 question Q&A. So basically, you guys got to submit your questions via Reddit and upvote, the questions that you thought were important, and we would answer them. So do a quick review of that. Do you want to do the honors, sir?
Yeah, that was an awesome event. We got a lot of good questions, and Arbiter even answered a couple questions that were not on the list. And we'll include the link in this if you want to do a full read-through, but I think just some quick highlights, in my opinion. There's a question about what bug fixes are coming. This is something that I've been seeing a lot in the community, just catching up in the forums and trying to learn as quickly as I can. And Arbiter's just like, yo, this is the deal, and lists like 6 awesome bugs that are just getting fixed. And so that's awesome. And it's just, this team's been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and you don't often get to show it off. People don't always see what we're working on. So that causes a lot of confusion, but it's great to finally present what everyone's been working on.
Yeah, I think going back to the Realm Q&A, one of my favorite questions actually that came up that I was really kind of interested to see, the answer was, are there any plans to release more or new guild-oriented content? That was actually the top-rated question that people voted up, and I think it's a really good one to have because, quite honestly, we have these guilds, and people want to know what we can do with them aside from chat, in the green text. If you have a guild, can you maybe do some cool stuff with that? So, basically, it is on the radar. The team does have plans to touch on that, at a later date. But right now we're focused on getting these epic dungeons out, I keep calling them epic dungeons. They're epic difficulty
they're
dungeons.
Epic.
They are epic.
They're dungeons that happen to be epic.
Yeah. Yep. But that will be coming up in a future release after we get the Shatters out, which is also on the radar and planned out after epic dungeons. Cool.
Oh yeah, one question. This is another thing that I've been seeing. I've seen come up a lot is the Lair of Draconis, and people are asking. So this is this dungeon that was nearly completed but never quite finished. Then a lot of things changed around, and so it was never released. And people are like, "What's the deal with that?" And it's just cool to know. I've actually seen it on our testing. I've seen like the state it's in. It's definitely not about to come out like in the next couple of weeks or whatever. But we are working on it, and it's super cool. And I think it's awesome. And I think you guys are gonna think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely been one of those hot questions that people have been asking about. What about the Lair of Draconis? You guys said you were gonna do that. We're working on it, guys. We already have some like part of the dungeon done, but it still needs to go through the whole QA process and getting the bugs resolved that actually pop up with it. Look for that coming out in the near future, likely after the Shatters comes out. And with that, we have one more I'm very excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome too. We have the lag fixes coming up. Those are going to be really, really cool. If you haven't checked out the YouTube video, one of our devs was actually working on getting some stuff recorded and fixed. And why is Arbiter looking at me like that?
Arbiter just peeked in and gave us both a look.
He gave me this nod, like, what's the matter with you? He has a way of doing that. And there goes Sergeant Sunshine. So we have some pretty exciting, fixes for the lag that are being worked on. If you haven't checked out the YouTube video that we called the chicken test, Cluck for Speed, check it out. We'll post a link here on, Realmcast, on the Realmcast video, and definitely check it out on Reddit. It's been floating around on our Twitter as well. But essentially, one of our devs is working on getting the game to be less laggy. So essentially, he spawned a ton of chickens in the Nexus, in his environment, and basically did like that. I'm talking a lot of chickens. Like it probably stunk in there, like really bad. But there was a ton of chickens, and he basically clicks this option in the options menu to use I believe it was like hardware acceleration, right? Did that and pretty much made the game run super smooth, despite the fact that there were all these chickens clucking around. So,
yeah, we're really excited about it. It's just a test we're doing right now. At this point, it's not like it's ready for the game, and there's a lot of work to be done. there's a lot of unknowns, but we saw the test and we all got really excited, so we just had to share it with you guys, and we're working on it, and hopefully the best will come out of it.
Definitely. So that'll be really exciting, guys. Look for that to come. We're not sure if it'll be in release 16, but it's likely not going to be in release 16, but we will get it to you guys as soon as possible. But please know that we are working on getting the game to run smoothly, quickly, better, faster, stronger. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, realmers of the realm, we come to the close of Realmcast. I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, you can catch us on Twitter. That's at ROTMG_news. Or on Facebook, facebook.com/ROTMG. On Tumblr, which is blog.wildshadow.com. Or, of course, on our forums, forums.wildshadow.com. And if you want to, hit us up on Twitter with any cool, things or talk about Realmcast, just hit us with #Realmcast.
And if you guys have questions or suggestions of what you want to hear in this Realmcast, let us know.
Definitely, guys. And with that, we bid you adieu.
Later.
Bye, guys.